Hello everyone, my name's Steph, I'm Botanist Cool, and today we're gonna play some Venba. Hello, I hope you all are doing well. I played one round of this game already, because I really wanted to kind of understand this game, what it was doing, what it was all about, all that kind of stuff, when I was doing kind of stuff, because like, I am so excited to play this game, y'all. It is, it hits me at home in a lot of ways, because a lot of ways I connect with my own heritage. My Greek heritage is through people like my grandma and her cooking, and through dancing and all that kind of stuff. So I've played through all the chapters. This is gonna be like a 2 to 3 hour stream max, because I expect us to talk a lot and goof off and what have you. But it's such a sweet game and such a lovely game, and I cannot wait to share some of my personal experiences in similar, not equivalent, because even though I'm Greek and have faced some things like that as a first generation Greek immigrant, I'm also really white. So I got a lot of good benefits to just simply being white. And I got a lot of privilege for being white. So like, I faced a few things, I'll tell you about them when I face there, but like, this game is a fantastic show of like, immigrant culture and what's like being first generation immigrants in a western country like America or Canada, and I cannot wait to get on into this and play this game with you. Well, if you continue your current progress, yeah, I'm fine with that. I am perfectly fine with that. I've already this game is not a hard game to beat, Fred. I'm good with this. I'm very good with this. Think well before you dare, and never ruminate once in action. Aww. Now I gotta look at all the small details and see like what are the weird things happening, like what are the small things happening all around. I am so excited to look at all the small details that I missed the first go around. Leaving already? Ayo, sorry, did I wake you? What time is it? 8. How are you feeling? Tired or nauseous? I know what's happening, so I'm gonna go nauseous. Just like yesterday? Ah. Okay, I'll call your school and say you can't come in today. I was just about to leave for work. You should go back to sleep. What about your lunch? There's some leftover idli batter and garlic chutney from yesterday. You can steam some idlis real quick. Now, if I mispronounce anything, good chance I will. But if I do, my most sincere apologies. I don't know if I can figure all that out. It's okay. I was just about to leave. It's just idli. It's very easy. It'll take me too long, Venba. Don't worry. I can just survive on the coffee machine. I feel like that's so many people nowadays. Like, I'll survive on the coffee machine, no big deal. I'll just eat a lot of coffee and drink a lot of coffee. You know, that's a normal thing to do. How do you guys, seriously, how do you guys fucking just drink coffee and survive the goddamn day? I don't know how y'all do that. I don't know how y'all goddamn do that. That's fucking, sounds horrible. Fine, I'll make it then. Wait 5 minutes. Venba, really, it's fine. No. I need to make lunch for myself anyway. Just tell the school I'll be done in a minute. Okay. Okay, let's get this done fast. Although... should I try my mother's recipe for once? The way I make idlis are never as soft as hers, and they would always cheer me up when I was feeling sick. I should just make them her way today. The recipe is still readable, that is. Ooh, here we are. Tools: idli plate, towel, cooker, holes to let steam, ingredients, water, batter. These have holes with batters can cook. Make sure to something or it will leak. Arrange plates so steam can cook batter properly. I've not made idli with these kinds of plates before. The only differences from mine seem to be the holes in the plates. The recipe also calls for towels. I'm not sure why, but Amma swears this method makes the idlis a lot softer. So here's the funny thing. My grandmother's cookbook has a lot of things like this in it. It's like all these little like small little things happening in there. Like, oh, here's what you should do. Here's yada, 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 right? And it's really funny because some of them are silly. Like, hey, it's time to turn your tomatoes upside down for this dish. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but you know. So the game gives you a really cool, like, you know, here's your recipes for doing it. But at the same time, you also have a hint, which I'm not gonna put, but also, well, you also get to typically learn a little bit about the dish and or the history of the dish, or how to make the dish, or something about Venba's life by doing the second choice, which is this. Idlis are breakfast staple. They ask so little of you, but they give you so much back. Simply grind rice and some fermented lentils for that cloudy batter, and steam it to make those soft, fluffy cakes. Anyone can make it, it's so easy. Except for my husband, I guess. Although I've never made them with my mother's cooker, so this might be a challenge. I kind of want to try making them, see what they'll taste like. I've never tasted idlis before. Idlis are versatile, and it is all about what you eat it with. Chili powder and some sesame oil would work well. Of course, the staples like sambar and coconut chutney are great too. But eating it with some leftover chicken gravy is my favorite. Ooh, that sounds good. There are a lot of options. All right, so we gotta steam it. So water goes in the bottom first. We're gonna put the towel on here and start filling this plate up, baby. Okay. And we have to make sure that we turn the steaming plates this way, so that like that would, oh wait, how do I do this again? Oh, god damn it, not this again. I remember like when I first played this game, I literally had like 10-20 minutes of just struggling because of that. Yeah! Turn it one more time. Nope, 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 nope. Stay. There we go. God, I was getting so frustrated at it. I was getting so frustrated at it. And then... Alright, let's see how it turns out. That should be long enough. Let's remove the lid and see how it turned out. Ah, it's done! Yeah! Idlis! Let's go! Oh wow, he even took the time to make our faces. I think you forgot about my beard though. You really didn't have to do this. What else could I do? My husband couldn't figure out idlis. Venba, I told you to go to sleep. You've been feeling sick and exhausted. You didn't have to cook. It's not a big deal if I skipped lunch once. I'm gonna pronounce it how Google told me. So I don't know if it's wrong. I don't know if a lot of what I pronounce is gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna do it how Google taught me. Pavlan, you're making me choose between resting and letting you starve. It's not a fair choice to me. You're not letting me starve. I know, but it's what it feels like. And even if I had let you leave, I couldn't sleep peacefully. I'd feel too guilty. I know I shouldn't, but you know I would. Is it so hard for you to cook even on days like this? You're right. Sorry. Did you look for tickets back home? Yes, it's expensive, but we can manage it. So, do Do you think we should go? I don't know. Let me ask the boss again if he can make me full-time. But unless the school gives you more shifts, or my boss changes his mind, it's going to be tough to stay here in Canada. You know, there are other options, but I wouldn't mind going back. I'm sure I could teach again at my old job. And there's nothing really keeping us here. That would be nice. Okay, well, why don't you leave with me now? I'll walk you to the doctor's office before I go to work. Oh, no, I'm sure all I need is some sleep. You've been saying that for 2 days now. Come on, I'll walk you. Doctors are free here. God, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I want free doctors. Oh, just keep an eye on that mask in the background. Just keep an eye on that mask in the background. I don't know what its significance is. They do mention it later on in the actual, like, game. But it doesn't really talk about the significance of that mask. I don't know if there's anyone here who does know anything about that mask. I would love to learn if you would be willing to share that information. But if not, that's a-okay as well. But, just keep an eye on it. The artwork in this game is cute, and the music's beautiful. Venba, are you home? What did the doctor say? So, the boss didn't even consider it. Unless a miracle happens, I say we start packing. What? What's with you? You never told me what the doctor said. Well, I think you should eat first. Okay. Idlis again. Ah! What has gotten into you today? So I guess this means we have a reason to stay. I mean, raising a child back home wouldn't be so bad either. But there's a chance at a different life here. It's only gonna get more expensive though, and we're barely scraping by as it is. We can't provide everything other parents would be able to. What if they resent us for that when they grow up? Maybe moving back to India is the best option after all. But then they could resent us from taking away this opportunity. I can't imagine how hard it legitimately is to be a parent in these kinds of scenarios where it's like, there's no right or wrong answer, it's just a legitimately tough thing, right? Like, everyone grows up in their own way, right? Your own time, your own culture, your own area. And a lot of times moving causes a lot of shock and trauma in some ways, where you do have trouble acclimating or understanding the culture, and you end up not being happy because that's not the culture you've raised yourself up in. I know a few people who are Greek who are like that, who prefer the Greek culture and prefer living in Greece, and in many ways want to go back to Greece, but because they had kids here, they wanted to give them a better time in America, or a better opportunities here in America, because probably their age in Greece, it was pretty rough. Still is. Like, I don't think Greece even knows what an economy is, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But I can't imagine what it's like to be a parent in this situation where it's like, we have two options, and they're both, you know, I don't know. I can't even imagine. What do you think, Venba? Why aren't you saying anything? I don't know. It's funny to see you worry like this. Are you not worried? I don't know. I feel very calm for some reason. That makes one of us. Buffalon, don't worry. I'm sure they'll turn out just fine. How can you be so sure? It's our child. How else could they turn out? Oh, sweet. Oh, sweet. Timescape, baby. Being outshone by one's children is universally desired form of sweet defeat. 1994. Look at him! Ah, there's more family pictures. My name is Pavilon, sir. Pavilon, sir. Kevin. Where'd you run off to? Sir, it would be my privilege to work with you. Pardon me, sir. I don't have time to play, Kevin. I have a lot of work to do. Yes, sir. I've managed to transport hundreds of units of inventory per day. Pardon me, sir. Kevin, there you are. What are you wearing? Where's your shirt? It's a cape! Take that off. Let's get you dressed. No, I like it. That job was in India, sir, but... Kevin, wait there. Don't run. Look at the mask in the background. I thought I saw it when I first played this game, but the eyes were actually moving with Kevin. Kevin, come back here. This has become a routine now. She's just like slowly walking side to side, being like, I'm gonna get you, kid. Yes, sir. Bachelor of Science in Physics, sir. I know that towel was so dirty, duh. Here, wear this shirt, Kana. Now! But sir, you can just take me on a probation period, maybe. I'm driven, self-started, and a quick learner, sir. Put this on, Kana. Hurry up now. What's that? If I'm mispronouncing anything, my apologies. Correct me if I'm not pronouncing right, but like I'm just doing what I did from Google and what I'm reading. But I don't want to. It's something really cool. Look at that. Look at that bubble. It's all blotchy. I like that. And that's language barrier right there in a physical, visual form. I like that a lot. Speaking Tamil, Kevin. See? Tamil. It's Tamil. Speaking Tamil, Kevin. I can't understand what you're saying. You don't have to pay until then. Please, Kana? I understand, sir. Yes, good boy. Okay. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for considering me. Good day. Ethan, what's up, buddy? Hello, Mr. Bachelor of Science. What happened? Same old. Didn't buy the I don't know what I'm gonna do. How you doing, Ethan? I did this one in my first playthrough at home, but I like that one. I don't want to be mean though. I haven't done this one yet. What? My beard? This is a phone interview. Your clean shave theory doesn't hold water here. I sent half these calls asking them to repeat themselves. I should watch cartoons with Kevin. Yeah, it's a good game, Ethan. If I can understand those shows, maybe I can understand those people too. Yay! We can watch Batman together, Appa. Yes, but your son isn't gonna forget Tamil? Your son isn't gonna forget Tamil at this rate. Did you know his friends call him Kevin? What's wrong with that? Speaking Tamil, da. Well, what's wrong with that? It's only one letter that's different anyways. Doing pretty good, just preparing some things? Valid. Names tell stories. It's a way for people to learn about you and where you're from. You shouldn't be afraid to correct your friends. It's your name after all. Who else is gonna tell them? And Kevin means beautiful. It's a lovely name and it suits you so well. I don't want to be beautiful. I want to be Kevin. How's your Flat Fuck Friday been? Flat Fuck Friday's been great. I want to say something about this scene right here. My name is not Steph. I always say my name is Steph. But my name is Stefano. Or Stefanos. I personally don't care either or way it's said, Stefanos or Stefano. But like Gavin here, my name was so heavily mispronounced as a kid, and it's a simple fucking name, in my personal opinion. I don't know if I'm saying Kavin's name right because I can't hear it. I can only read it. I can only assume it's Kavin. But you know, people could never say Stefanos. They would always say Stefano, Steven, Stefanin. Like, they had all these weird names. So I basically had to choose for myself a nickname that'd be good for Americans that I appreciated. And it's Steph. I haven't gone by my full name in years and years and years, which is something that a lot of immigrants kind of go through. As an example, the Greek name Yanni becomes John here in America. Anyone named Yanni becomes John. If your name is Dimitri, it becomes Jimmy or James for some fucking reason. So like, this is something that I've experienced in my own life. You know, people don't want to call me by my name or learn how to pronounce my name, especially my last name, but I cannot pronounce that here. They don't want to say my name. This happens to me today. I have a coworker who refuses to call me Stefanos. Like, hey, call me Steph. And then he goes, oh, I'm just playing jokes on you. I go, call me Steph. And he goes, whatever. So he starts calling me Steven, Stefan, Stefano. And I ignore him every fucking time. And because I have ignored him every time he's calling me by those names, he finally and slowly started saying Stefanos or Steph. And it's just like, yo, if someone tells you what their name is, fucking listen to their name. Of course, he's a kid. He probably wants to go by Kevin because, you know, that's he wants to fit in with the other kids at school. So like, that's valid. But like, I just find it interesting. It's like, that's kind of, you'll see that theme come up a few times in this game where it's like, basic names are not respected. I'm just playing a joke on you. And it's never funny. Just call me Steph. I'll accept Steph or Stefano, you know? I don't want to be Stefano, that's Italian. I don't want to be Steven, ugh. But he's chosen his name, that's valid. He's brighter than us, Venba. He's learned to adapt, we haven't. You know, he aced yesterday's English quiz. He did? Really? Good job. We should celebrate, Dakana. What do you want to eat? I'll make something special. Oh, can we order pizza? And once again, I love this text bubble where it's like, one, it's in yellow to signify it's in a different language, and two, it's all blotched up because Venba is having trouble understanding him. There's a language barrier there. I love this description in this game where it's like, here's a language barrier. The same thing happened with my grandparents. They had a huge language barrier coming to America, you know? Or actually, those grandparents that have a big language barrier were in Canada, but either way. Speak in Tamil, Kevin. I want pizza. How about something better? Like, oh my god. I'm gonna mispronounce so many things here. Like, parota? Dosa? Oh, fuck! Idiyappam? Ghee dosa? Biryani? Kari dosa? Love it when they use dialogue. Yeah, I know, right, Ethan? No, I'm tired of all these. I said I want pizza. Extra cheese. Extra toppings. You eat pizza all the time. Kevin, have you ever had puto? No. What's that? Well, I've only seen my mother make it before. It's a lot of fun to make. Reminds me of a rocket. Rocket? Yeah, a lot of steam comes out when you make it. It looks like a rocket launching. I love how smart she is, though. I love how smart she is. See, as a kid, I ate anything and everything, and I still do. The only thing I didn't like as a kid were mushrooms and onions. And I'm starting to accept onions now. I don't like them like raw in the salad, but I love onions cooked. And I still hate mushrooms. But I always ate the asparagus, I ate the couscous, I ate the tomatoes and all the veggies. I love it. I love the Brussels sprouts. So, like, pizza was a good thing, don't get me wrong, but like, I think when I was a kid, I was more raised upon, I guess, not quite only home cooking, but like, you know, I'll say there's a lot of different foods, a lot of traditional Greek foods, obviously, but you know. Loki, thank you very much for the hydrant stretch. I'm gonna give you a shout out in a second. Oh! Oh, fuck, my back. Oh, that hurt. Oh, I felt good, though. God damn. How are you doing today, Loki? The Octo. It does? Yeah. But you know what? Let's just order pizza. Apparently Mario hates mushrooms too now. Wait, what? Wait, what? Got a stretch? I'm good, just lurking about. Well, thank you very much for the lurk, Loki. Yeah, I gotta get that stretch going on. Let's just order pizza. There's no rocket, but you get a nice cardboard box. See, I love it. Sometimes parents are like smart like this. Will it really look like a rocket launch? Do you want to see? The movie they made him hate mushrooms? Oh my god. For once I sympathize with Mario here. Alright, let's get started. I haven't made this before, but Amma has a recipe on it. Hopefully it's readable. Where's the rocket? We need to make the flour first, though. Okay. Ingredients, 500 grams of water. Blend 500 grams of rice. Separate rice from chunks. Something chunks. And combine things. Here's the funny thing. Let me tell you guys the funny thing. I go into my grandmother's cookbook. I look for how to cook some food. Nothing is in fucking grams. It's always meto fucking heri. Canis meto heri. Naxeris meto heri. You know it with your hands. Have you ever delved into Persian food before? I have not had the pleasure of delving into Persian food. That being said, Greek food and any food from like that kind of area isn't too dissimilar. Greek food has a lot of, Greek food is a cultural melting pot of everything around it. I don't know where Persia is compared to Greece, but I've not had the pleasure of doing Persian food yet. I should know where Persia is. Hold on. Well, let's see. Go to maps and images. I cannot read this map because I'm bad at maps. Oh, oh yeah, okay. No. Persia's like the general area, like Middle East, all the way forward to part of Asia, top of India. Okay. Greek food's gonna be similar because Greek food has a lot of cultural takes from the Middle East, and from the Middle East. A lot. So, all right, let's make some flour. When are we gonna see the rocket park? Soon, da. Be patient. I was fucking this up when I first played this. I kept putting the water in the blender and then the rice in the blender and blending it up together, and that's not how it goes. Well, the recipe says adding flour to the rice is the final step. Do you think this is right? It's a bit chunky, isn't it? Putu flour should feel like slightly wet sand. I think we need to use the sieve. Let's try again. So I was so confused. I spent about like 30 minutes figuring this part out, and then I realized, oh, it only says to blend the rice, not the water. I was an idiot. It was really funny though, I'm not gonna lie. I spent like 30 minutes trying to figure that out. The cool thing is they actually have a redo button, so if you do go back, you're like, oh, I messed up, you just do the redo button the whole time. As much as you want, and it's really good. It's really good. I should shake the sieve over the towel to catch everything. Put the big rice chunks there and blend them again, baby! The music's also a lot of fun. I'm so glad to like hear other cultural music from different cultures every once in a while. Like this is like original music they made inspired by Tamil culture, which is really cool. I love it. I think this is perfect. Why does it feel like flour, even though there's so much water? We have to mix the water and flour little by little. The final consistency should feel like slightly wet sand. Oh fuck, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to press the X button, god damn it. Alright, that wasn't too hard. Amma, when will we get to the rocket? Soon. If you press the X button as a fun little fact, you, oh, hold on. This is like busted up. You're missing parts. So it's like flour, coconut, 4 tablespoons of something or another, 3 tablespoons of something, and water. Put the coconut layers as far away from each other as possible. Alright, this is straightforward. Assemble the parts so that the water steams and cooks what's above. Tricky part is figuring out how much rice and coconut is needed. And in what order. Coconut could crumble easily. So if you click X, you can actually get like more information on 1, how to do it, and 2, other things that you can do with this meal IRL, or potentially more about Venba's story. We're garnishing with coconut, but really you can stuff anything between. Anything? No, yeah, anything? Yes, like Ariachi putu is made with minced meat in the middle. Ah, my favorite. What about cheese? Could you put cheese? You could, but you shouldn't. So what we do know now is we need to have the coconuts as far away from each other as possible. So like we're gonna have so coconut, rice, coconut, rice is what I'm getting at. Let's put the water in here first. I was never a big fan of coconut. I've tried coconut dozens of times. I was never a big fan of them. But I should retry them soon. I haven't done it in a while. I haven't eaten coconut in a while. It's lunchtime, Coffin. That's kind of cool. Wow! That was so cool! Venba, can't believe it didn't fall. Amma! Can we do that again? Not only that, a lot of dishes in I always hated coconut as well, but I retried it recently and you kind of like it now? Hell yeah. We're going to offer you a secondary teacher position at this time. However, we encourage you to apply again next year. Like, one thing that, like food does is food has history to it. Food has history to it. Like, in the UK, their food has history to it. They still cook as a result of partially the rationing from the bombings and the wars and all that kind of stuff. Like, their food has kind of gone through a change, a cultural change because of all that. Is he asleep? I think so. Coven? Yes, he is. Good. So that interview, another dead end? Yes. I think I knew that before I took the call. No relevant Canadian work experience. We'll keep you on file. I don't know. I feel like I've deluded us into thinking that we can make it work here. Well, don't worry. I'll go to the employment office again tomorrow. What? I know you don't like Suresh, but I think you should take the sales job at his company. It is kind of all you know. It's kind of all about who you know. here. And we barely know anybody. We're not in a position to pick and choose our help. I thought moving here would be a chance to start over. That even here, we still have to beg people like Suresh. It's not begging. I know. I'll call him tomorrow. Thank you. But honestly, I think you're more qualified for sales than I am. I mean, the way you sold Kavin on the Puto today, you're really good with kids. Can't believe you're having a hard time teaching in school. Well, it's not like teaching back home. It makes me worry about Kavin. Yeah. Why? Well, back home, I could get the class to laugh and open up. Get them in the mood to learn, you know? But it's harder here. What does that have to do with Kavin? I feel that there's a wall between me and my class. I can't connect with them. They lead very different lives than we did. And I feel the same growing around Kavin. How do you mean? What if I can't connect with Kavin? See, my parents are fluent in English, but a lot of immigrant parents, when they speak one language, they can't interact, and they grew up in a country, and they move to a Western country where it's supposed to be a melting pot, either like Canada or the United States, and they have a kid there. The kid adapts, grows, and learns in the community they were a part of, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. And the fact is, a generational and cultural gap is made when you have a kid in another country that is not your own. There's obviously the generational gap between you and your parents, where you have different thought forms than your parents, but now there's a cultural gap as well. This is like a really painful thing to realize. Like this, when I first read this kind of got me, because I have a really big cultural gap between me and a lot of other Greek people I know. Very, very big. Ooh. At the same time, you know, there's also a generation gap. So like, Kavin here is like, he's getting Canadianized in the same way I got Americanized. It's a wild feeling to kind of look back retrospectively on in your own life. It feels like he's growing further away from us. The other day, he told me he wished to have his own room, like his friends. He said he needs his privacy. What 5-year-old needs privacy? Can you even imagine asking something like that when you were a kid? Are you vulnerable to that? No, more than my pleasure, Go Cubs. Like, I'm not shy about, you know, like, once again, I'm Greek American, so I'm not facing the same thing these guys have faced, or other Indian or people of color, because once again, I'm white. I get tanned, but like, I'm white, so I don't face a lot of things they do. Especially a lot more of the serious things. But there's a lot of inter-family politics and generational understandings and cultural differences that happen with all immigrant families. Like, in the same way my big fat Greek wedding hit a lot of immigrant families, not just the Greeks, but a lot of Eastern European and Italian and all that kind of stuff families. Venba's hitting immigrant families, obviously specifically South Indian immigrant families and the Tamil culture, but at the same time, a lot of the struggles this family faces, a lot of immigrant families do face, and I'm going to be sharing more of my own because I've needed to think about this. Because, like, you know, I played this game one time, I'm like, I'm not going to upload this because I need to think and understand how to speak about this game respectfully, because it can be a very tough game to digest. If you're from an immigrant family, like a first-generation immigrant like myself, there's a lot of retrospective you have for your own life, especially when it relates to Kavin and his relationship with his parents and his culture. It's like he's in a different world than us. Well, it's more than just that. That fucking hits. That fucking hits. He brings it back every day with some excuse. I don't know if the other kids make fun of him for it. If cozy game developers are okay, I swear somebody cozy game hit the fields with how special for a game to bring back all the... Oh, yeah. And this is another thing. The funny thing is, if you guys have seen my Big Fat Greek Wedding, Tula goes to church, goes to her school. She brings her moussaka. It's a pasta dish from Greece. And people are like, ew, what's that? She's like, oh, it's moussaka. Moussaka, ew! Like, traditional foods from other countries in America, especially when you're a kid, and in Canada, are made fun of. And it's a huge shame because a lot of cultural foods, no matter what country you're going to or from or being a part of, they're fucking delish, baby. Like, something I've learned growing up. That's something I've faced that myself. People were just like, yo, what are you eating? Ugh, just get a hamburger kind of deal, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if the other kids make fun of him for it or if he's embarrassed. I don't know, I'm worried. These things bother me too, but we chose to bring him up here, not him. We did it because we thought he'd have a better life here, and he does. This place comes with better education opportunities, but it also comes with its own culture, language, and values. We can't pick and choose the ones we want and ask them to ignore the others. I think it's natural for any kid to want to fit in, right? That's part of it too. Yes, maybe. It's just scary. Don't worry, Venba. He'll turn out just fine. How are you so sure? He's our child. How else will he turn out? I'm not going to call it a problem. Let me rephrase that. It's not a problem in immigrant families. It's a situation in immigrant families. There's no problem with someone becoming more knowledgeable on the culture they're living in. Right? Yeah. Go on. Tell her. His name is Pavelon. He's my dad. P-A-A-V-A-L-A-N. She says Appa's not at the office. Does she know what time he left? Once again, fantastic way to show language barriers using like artistic description. Do you know what time my dad left the office? Oh, well, does she at least know if he came in today? Did you see my dad today? Ask her if he usually leaves with anyone. Maybe he can call them. Does he usually go home with someone? Mm-hmm. She says no, Dad usually leaves alone and he's very quiet. She says all the sales staff left at 5 p.m. today. She says he must have left then too. Okay, thank you. Where are we walking through the park, Amma? And there's just a lot of blotchiness there. Do you think Appa will be here? I don't know, Kana. Sometimes your Appa loves to walk instead of taking the bus. If you decided to walk home from the office, it should be through here. But the lady said Appa left at 5. What's taking him so long? You think he went somewhere else first? But where would he go for this long? I don't know, Calvin. Enough of your questions. Sorry, Kana. I'm just worried about Appa. Why are you worried? Do you think something happened to him? No, I'm sure he's fine. You don't have to stay quiet, Calvin. Here, you can ask me anything you want. Anything? Yes, and I'll answer it. But only if you ask it in Tamil. Okay? Oh, okay, I can do that. Ahem. Okay. Okay, I can do that. Why did that lady say Appa was very quiet? He talks a lot at home. Oh, look at you go. See, you can speak Tamil when you want to. I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to talk to him. What do you mean? Nothing. He doesn't like his job, Gavin. Maybe that's why. He was a writer back home, right? Do you like his job then? Oh, yes. He loved to write. How come I never see him right at home? Well, he always writes when something bothers him. Back home, that used to be every day. Maybe you should bug him more. Which one do you guys want me to choose? I know which one I chose in my first playthrough. Which one do you want me to choose for you guys? But again, I want to reiterate, this is where a lot of first generation immigrants are gonna feel it. Both quick questions. What did she do back home? All right, I can do that one. Both are okay. Back home, what did she do? And I already did the other one, so I can answer that one for you guys later anyway. So, I spoke Greek as my first language. Greek and English. I actually remember speaking Greek to my mom and dad when I was very, very young. And that being the only language we really spoke. However, I lost that over time, and now I'm fucking using Duolingo to try to get that back. I can speak some Greek. I've kept some of it, but a lot of it's very surface level. So like seeing Kavin lose his Tamil, a lot of first generation Greeks lose their language. A lot of first generation immigrants in general lose their language when they move to a Western country. And once again, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a fact of life that just around you, you don't have the opportunity to develop those skills and maintain that culture. That's why you have a lot of places that are culturally specific, like a Chinatown or a Greek town or a little Tokyo or something like that. These cultural hubs, like Astoria in New York or a Chinatown or whatever, like there's a million of them around the United States. You'll find a million of them. There's a Japanese town in Florida as an example, and so on and so forth. These communities of immigrants build themselves together to maintain partially their culture and at the same time to help support one another in this new country. And very clearly so, Venba, Kavin, and Pavilon don't have this in Canada right now. Which means that their culture is not being reinforced in a positive way. It's likely that, you know, Kavin hasn't, you know, interacted with other people from his culture because in Canada there might not have been people of his culture at that time, or from anyone from India at all, perhaps. I know when it came to being Greek, you know, I had my church mates, but they weren't in my school. I was the only Greek at school, you know. I was very proud of being Greek for many, many years, up until I was about the age of 10. And, you know, the school kids were like, oh, it's so weird. Why are you Greek? Why is this? Why is that? You're really weird about it. So, outside of my church, I was actually very much so, and I'm not religious anymore, obviously, but outside of my church, I was very much so, negatively influenced to distance myself from the Greek culture, right? I could only imagine how much harder it is for Kavin, who doesn't have a cultural support group with him, that if he even wanted to maintain that connection, that he could. It's a lot harder to maintain a connection to your culture when there's only two people supporting you, mom and dad, to maintain that connection than there is if you have a whole community supporting you. It's literally true. Like it takes a whole village to raise a child. When he goes to school, there's no one who might have similar roots to him. You know, there's no one who like that. Like, you'll be surprised at how many people you know around you. Well, maybe not anymore. I don't know. But like back in the 90s, you'd be surprised at how many people like were so singled out for being not American. And I can only speak from the American point of view. But like, or not Western European, and specifically English or Irish, something like that. Which were still discriminated against in the 60s and what have you, but like, it's a very weird situation. What did you do back home? Same here. I was a teacher, and not just a supply teacher. I taught math for a 9 to 12 standard. Are you a cool teacher? What's a cool teacher? Fun and easygoing, like were the kids scared of you? Only kids named Calvin. I don't know. I think I was good at it. My classes are always fun for the students. But I don't think I'm a cool teacher here. I miss those days. But you teach here too. It's not the same. Why not? I don't know. It's just not. Culture differences are fucking whack, yo. Which one do you guys want to see, by the way? I'll tell you what happened to the other one. And the other choice... Oh, you know what? No, I don't want to give you guys spoilers. I don't want to give you guys spoilers. You guys have to take a look for them for yourself. But, which choice do you want here, guys? But yeah, no, there's a lot of cultural differences for professionals working in different areas as well. Like, why'd you move here? Why'd you move here? There's a lot of cultural differences for people who move from place to place, and that will affect, you know, how teaching goes, how that kind of stuff happens. So like, it's hard to understand sometimes when you are so familiar with one culture and something drastically does change it, like a move to another country. It wasn't an easy choice. Pavlon wanted to be with me, and I couldn't imagine being with anyone else. But a lot of people took issue with us being together, and they decided to make it our problem. I don't know if this is something specific to Indian culture, so I can't really make a comment on that, but there might be something specific about Indian culture where people from different regions or something might be a little frowned upon from getting together. I'm just gonna say that as a context thing. I know that some countries that's a thing. I do not know specifically about India, but that might just be one of the things. I don't know. It was getting really hard to deal with, so we gambled on a fresh start and took it here. Ama, I see Appa. Hey, go Cubs. Sometimes you wonder if cozy game developers are okay. Huh? Yeah, that was rough, huh? The unfortunate part is, especially in the 80s and before then, a lot of communities had it rough like that. I was not part of a community that had it rough like that, thankfully, but a lot of communities did. Specifically people of color. Or people who were not passably white like I am. A lot of communities, Asian, African, etc., Hispanic. A lot of them have it rough like that. A lot of them do. Okay, I just finished cutting up the onions too. I think you should have everything you need. Yeah. Yes, thanks, Pa. I'll go help Calvin pack. Now the tears are forming. Also, a small detail you guys might not have noticed that I noticed immediately because it's happened to me in my life. His name tag spelled Pavlun. Pavluhn. It's not his name, goddammit. It's not his fucking name. That happened to me a lot of times and still happens to me a lot of times. Okay, this recipe is completely unreadable. Layered biryani is really fancy. I've never made it that way before. But I've seen Amma make it on the night before we left India. Maybe I could try remembering them. And don't forget, here's a cool thing. I stepped away for a minute, came back to this artist Calvin and said, I see Appa. Oof, oof. Here's something really cool. If it wasn't for the wonderful Elam Tamil community here in Toronto, I can't imagine getting these recipes easily or affordably 20 years ago. Tamil shops, restaurants, theaters, I hear they're all even offering Tamil courses for students now. They've worked so hard to create this little home away from home. Wish I could do more here. Maybe I'll apply if there's any Tamil teaching jobs. See, finally in 2004, they have that community they needed to start with. Oh. Remember, add all these first. These ingredients are so expensive. I don't know, why are you going through all this trouble? It's okay, D. It's okay, D. And it's a big thing to leave to another country. Don't know when I'll be able to cook for you again. It's a fucking mood. It's a fucking mood. There's a logic to the order you add 4 ingredients in. You want to add them to fry the oil nicely, but the ingredients you add always will fry more than in the oil than the ones you add next. Right, so if you want the onions to turn golden brown, you need to add them first. And remember, once you add the tomatoes, they release so much water, it's hard for anything to fry after. Now the beef goes in after we add all the salts and powders. That's the order and important. Then add water and let it reduce. How am I gonna remember all this? Don't worry, I've added all these instructions to the recipe book I gave you. Alright. The first thing we're gonna add is cardamom, bay leaves, fennel seeds, cloves. I can never get tired of how great toasted spices smell. I wish you could see how much these cost here. You would lose your mind over these prices. Okay, yep. Of course the tomatoes go in last. You went through a lot of trouble for the recipe book, Amma. I'm sorry I couldn't take better care of it. But I'm fixing it now and I hope Calvin appreciates it when he cooks these. If he ever does. I already read those, okay. I have 1 or 2 of my grandmother's recipes from Greece. And by George, I love them. I should ask my mom for more from the cookbook, honestly. This smells divine. I think we just need to let it simmer for 30 minutes and we can start layering. And it's always like these weird instructions like turn the tomatoes over. It's like, okay. Gravy is done. All that's left is the biryani. I hope I can finish it before Calvin leaves. Ingredients. Can't figure out shit. Okay. 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. Once done, let in low flame for 30 minutes. At least the second part is salvageable. I think the idea is to put everything in the pot, seal it tightly, and then let it simmer together. 1, 2, 3 may refer to different layers of gravy, rice, and other things, but in what order? Maybe I can try to remember. Ah, I see. We just add all these together on top of the rice layer, and that's the final layer. Yes. What's wrong, Amma? Oh, Amma, why are you crying? You know we'll visit often, and once things are better, we'll come back here. This is our home. Where else would we go? I know, Kana. It's just far away. Right. I think that's how we do it. Yeah, there we go. I think this is right. I have the cover of the lid now. Okay, I think this is it. I just need to keep it at low flame, very low, and let it all cook together. This rice will fully absorb the moisture from the gravy, deeply flavoring it. I can't wait. Should be good now. Looks amazing. Ah, Pavalon, you're a man after my own heart. You smell it. You're ready. How is it? Oh, so good. Beef really is the best. Oh, it's really good, Amma. I'm glad. I won't get too many chances to go for you like this again. Amma, stop being so dramatic. I'm just moving out for university. Yes, Kana, but we'll miss you. Have you packed everything? Long drive, we might have to get gas on the way. Oh, as it turns out, my friends are driving there today after all, so I'll be going with them. Oh. This way you and Appa won't have to drive all day. Which one do you guys want? Well, let me explain something about non-American and non-Canadian communities real quick. There is a... But yeah, y'all choose which one you want. Choose one or two. I'll do whichever one you guys want me to do. There is a huge emphasis on community outside of America, outside of Canada, in terms of sticking around. America is very unique, and not necessarily the worst, not necessarily the best way of just being like fucking yeet on off, make your own individualistic adventure, which is something I've done, admittedly. But in Greece or in other countries, it's a lot more of you stay with the family, you might get education, but you come back to the family eventually. You come back to your little choreo, or your little town, or your little city, or something like that. And you stay with the family. It's moving cross country, moving to other countries and what have you. It's relatively, I won't say new. I won't say, it's more exaggerated nowadays, where you might move different regions. Back in the day, like from one city of Greece to another city of Greece, you're not moving from Greece to America, from Greece to the UK, from Greece to somewhere else. Or when it comes to America, you're moving from Florida to California, you're moving from California to Oklahoma, and you're basically several countries away already, going to university. So it's a very mixed feeling for me as someone who has done this and likes to live individually. If I'm being perfectly honest, I like the individualistic living style. But at the same time, I grew up in a very communal living style. I'm very, I guess, fluent in it. I understand its benefits. It's a bit of a culture shock between non-American and Canadian individualism and the rest of the world. Basically, I don't think there are many other countries where individualism is so highly regarded compared to America and Canada. There might be other ones that do have a lot of individualism, but like, I feel like America and Canada, to the best of my experience and knowledge, is extremely individualistic. We could come spend time together before we send you off. It's not a hassle for us to drive you at all. We'd love to. Last chance to annoy us. Last chance for us to annoy you with unsolicited advice. Aw, Amma, that would be so nice. But I think it's just easier this way. You can always annoy me another time. Oh, okay, Kana, sure. Did I even get any of the meat pieces? This man is a man of my heart, man. He's just like, he knows exactly what he wants. Maybe we can drive there next week, drop off some food. Oh, I almost forgot. Will your friend's car have enough space for some containers? I don't know, why? I've packed a lot more of the biryani. I also packed some podis and pickles and sweets. Did she give all the pieces to Kavin? Amma, I can't take that in the car. Why not? I packed for all your friends too. You all can eat. Amma, they don't want biryani. The whole car will smell. I don't want them in my dorm either. You don't want any of it? Kavin, I put a lot of effort into making all this week. I didn't ask you to. Why are you getting mad? I know you didn't ask, but what will you even eat there? I don't know. There are cafeterias, instant noodles, whatever. On a lot by being more non-communal. In America, we demand assimilation, so I get why first-gen kids will want to move too. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of assimilation here in America, and there's a lot of... I think what it necessarily is like, the way American culture is set up is it is set up for individualism. It's not set up for community, because when you do have a community, like, I'll talk from my experience, the Greek community, it's so hard to expand in just the Greek community. If you're in Greece, you have the Greek community countrywide, obviously, right? America is a very sloppy cultural melting pot where you have basically the requirement of assimilating to American culture, whatever the fuck that means, in order to really progress socially. And if you want to get good schooling, you might have to move from one state to another. And if you want to get a good job, you might have to move from one state to another again. Like, I moved from different parts of Florida when I was growing up. You know, I moved to different parts of Florida for university. Then I moved out of Florida to North Carolina for a job, and I'm probably gonna move to another state eventually to get a better job. Florida, the United States really requires you to kind of move, be around, and find jobs elsewhere. You can't stay in one location as easy as you can elsewhere. While in Greece, I know people who just live in the Chorio. And there they are. They're in the Chorio. They're happy. They go to university at a city nearby. They come back to the Chorio. You know what I'm saying? It's like, not to mention, because it is such a melting pot, it is a little harder to find, for previous generations, to find people similar to them. Like, I found people similar to me because we're European, or they're Middle Eastern, and we have that same communal eating style, right? Where we go to a restaurant, we order one big plate of food, put it in the middle, and we all order our small dishes on the side, and we eat with each other, eat together. I've bonded with people like that because, oh shoot, yeah, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to eat with you like that, and they're like, no, I'm cool, I do that all the time, you know. When in Rome, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's like there's different eating habits for people who live in communal areas than there are for people who live here. I share food with my Italian friends. We just share our plates, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how we grew up eating. We grew up eating, sharing, and being a part of a community, not per se hoarding and being solo on it. That's not to say people don't do, that's not to say people aren't communal in their own ways here. It's a different kind of communal living there, and it's across the world. And even then, Greece and India are probably very different as well. You know, India and other parts of Asia are probably very different. Probably very different from Africa and South America and Central America, you know? It's just community is communal, cultural communities and communal living is not as incentivized here in the United States as it is rest around the world. I'll figure it out. I can't believe she gave him all the pieces. I'm just eating kuska here. Very well put, thank you. That's not healthy, Kevin. You can't eat out every day. Literally everyone there will be doing that. See, my point proven. I'm just trying to be helpful. Well, you're not. Why don't you just take some of it? You don't even have to eat it. I said no, Amma. I'm done with this. This is a fresh start for me. I don't want to smell like little India anymore. I just want to be normal. For once. Kana, the language you speak, the foods you eat, the clothes you wear, only you should decide that, Kevin. You don't have to change who you are for us. But just make sure you're not changing who you are for anyone else either. There's a wonderful, beautiful culture that's a part of you. It would be a shame if you chose not to be a part of it, just because you think it's not normal. Then why did we even move here? We should just have stayed in India. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell. It's just, there's no reason to create a fuss over any of this. It's not like you're never gonna see me again. I'll visit often, okay? Okay. And I'll call every week too. So please try not to worry. Okay? Okay. That's just a flat out lie. Not intentional to harm lie, it's just the world is so different now than it used to be. That's all I really know how to put it. Western culture is different from European and Eastern cultures. Is another good way of putting it. Is that them? Yes, I think so. Who's that girl? I've never seen her before. Smart kid. This is why I didn't want us to drive him. Chip off the old block. There he goes. I suppose that's good. He's so independent. Makes his own choices, even if they're so incorrect. Our choices were mostly made for us already. Whatever he chooses, at least, will be his own decision. We just have to wait patiently for him to come back to us. Until then, it's just the two of us again, huh? Just like old times. I will say there is no incorrect choice. We're unable to offer you a second teacher position, however encouraged by him. There is no incorrect choice in your own life. There's nothing to lose by learning about other cultures and living. I wish more of that was on here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did Coven reach the university? Did he text or call yet? No. Well, we told him to text or call when he gets there, right? Yes. Well, maybe he hasn't got... Oh, he has. I kept waiting and I got worried, so I finally called him. He just said he forgot to inform us and hurried to hang up. Oh, well, it's a big day after all. I'm sure he has a lot going on there. Oh, sure. Let your son do as he likes. I'm not gonna bother anymore. He doesn't want to eat what we make. He doesn't want to speak in Tamil. Tamil? He doesn't want to speak in Tamil. He doesn't even want the name we gave him. I'm done chasing after him. Yes, you're right. Oh wait, he forgot his headphones in his room. I was going to bring him to him something next week. Maybe we should just let him pick up whenever he's next here. Oh, he did? Of course not, Pavilon. We should help him out if we can. He uses those headphones all the time. It'd be hard for him without that. What? Oh, you made that up. Is there anything more fleeting than your anger towards Coven? That's what being a parent is, I suppose. When Coven said he wants to pursue writing, I was so happy. Finally, something we have in common. I wanted to show him all the works that inspired me and all the poems and stories that I love. And the ones you wrote too. All the stories you read to him as a child, or just ones you read up on the spot? Yes, but I doubt he even remembers that. I don't even know if he can read Tamil literature, much less understand it. I used to wonder why he wanted to turn his back on all the unique and special things his roots have to offer. But after that night in the park, maybe he's thinking it's better not to be unique or stand out in any way. That's very true. Hate crimes and racism and the effects, the long-lasting, impactful effects of bigotry will turn people away from their own culture. Or the culture their parents had and they grew up with, is the best way to put it. I know that when I was a kid, I was bullied for dancing Greek. You know, I'm a traditional Greek dancer here. You know, I did really well dancing Greek. I still do really well. When we had a cultural heritage day, I went to school in a full garb of some of my Greek dancing clothes. It included something called a fustanella, which is basically a skirt. I was bullied relentlessly. I was bullied for having long curly hair. I was bullied for having curly hair. That was Greek curly hair. You know, I was bullied for having a Greek name. I was bullied for Greek food. When I brought Greek food. Eventually I just stopped bringing Greek food all along, you know? I ate Greek food at home. I was happy to eat it at home and I could eat the burgers at school or whatever. The crappy ass burgers there. I can't imagine what it's like to see your father as a victim of a fucking hate crime attack. Like a racially biased attack. Like, this man was attacked solely because he was Indian. I've never experienced that. I cannot imagine how Coven would feel being like, I don't want to be special because I've seen my father get physically assaulted. I've seen the result of that. Bigotry and hate and unwillingness to understand can really drive deep wedges between one person and their family's historical culture. And I don't think we can blame him for that. I guess it wasn't the best decision to move. I don't get the right here. You don't get to teach here. It's hard for Coven to be who he really wants to be here. This generation coming up is more globalized. Yeah, generation, young millennials, Generation Z and Generation Alpha are significantly more globalized and more tolerant. That doesn't mean we can just like kind of coast it, but like even in my generation, young millennial here, you know, 93 baby, let's go. There are a lot of bigots in my generation. And it's important to shut that down. And have us millennials as parents? Yeah, let's go. I don't want fucking kids. I don't want kids. I cannot have a kid. So you take that part from me, all right, friend? You take that part from me. I did not want that. Maybe you should have stayed. If you're gonna suggest that I would have been better off not moving here with you, I work with kids so I can come as raising them. Ah, fair. I used to be a teacher. I used to be a teacher in a museum, so I get where you're coming from with that. I get where you're coming from. I used to teach with kids quite a bit. My anger is gonna be anything but fleeting. But come on, I know how much you miss home. Wouldn't you be happier back there? If I felt like I didn't have anyone, then yes, maybe I'd be happier there. But I have Coven, and I have you. Home is where you two are. Fair. Bless your heart, bless my heart. Hey, is that a sarcastic southern bless your heart? Or are you actually being like... Because here, and as an example, I'm from the south. Oh, bless your heart, you know? Another heartbreaker right here. If this out too, is that the sarcasm, the sincere one? Aw. Hell yeah, Southern buddies, let's go. Hell, even South United States and North United States have very different cultures, and even then you have different cultures in the Midwest and the West and the East and all that kind of stuff. Every state's basically its own fucking country in its own way. This is a multi-step one, let's go! Over in the Midwest, it's very different here in the Southeast. Yeah! Southeast, let's go! These look so fucking good. I don't know what they're called, but I want to eat them. Honestly, I consider this less of a cooking game and more of a story with cooking elements, honestly. Like, I barely consider, like, this is certainly a cooking game, but there's definitely a lot more of a story than there's cooking. Kind of like Coffee Talk, if you play that. I have not played Coffee Talk, but I've seen it, and I'm very curious about playing it, actually. It looks lovely. I've been playing games like Potion Permit recently, though, which has been my jive. Coffee Talk is maybe among the next. Is it gaming? Oh hell yeah! There's a lot of good games like that out. Yo, let's go! Today, and oh my god, I am having such a blast with Potion Permit. It's so good. I just got to the part where I could finally like get the northern section, possibly in the next episode or two. Because I'm just basically getting wood and stone to get that part now. I finally got the first few of the community upgrades too, which is kind of cool. I love it. Potion Permit is so good. Fuck Mateo. Fuck Mateo. He's an asshole. I'll fight him. I'm definitely marrying Lino, though. I'm gonna romance her because, goddamn, badass pirate lady could kick my ass 100%. Let me smooch you, please. I will smooch you. That's how I feel about a few. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Bachelors and Bachelorettes in Stardew Valley. Not most of them. I'm not a big fan of. Abby's the closest thing I really like enjoy when it comes to Bachelor and Bachelorette, but like a few of them I just really do not like. Oh god, this is a fucking feast. I'll fight Demetrius on site. Oh, these look so good. I wanted to fight Elliot. I like the fact that he is indeed an author and an environmentalist, but I kind of hate him still. I do not like him. I want to fight Elliot. He rubs me the wrong way in every way. I don't know why. Oh, I want to eat fish. I miss the cuisine of Greece, so I married him in the first one. Don't know why. No, yeah. Like, I miss the cuisine of Greece a lot. Now, I'm born in America, but like, I have gone to Greece plenty. I miss Greek cuisine a lot. A lot of it's seafood based, obviously. And it's so goddamn good. But at the same time, like, I just miss the food there a lot because it's so different from food here. Not even talking about like processed foods or any bullshit like that, but rather just like you eat food here, it's kind of all like relatively, I'm not gonna say bland, but it's like it's relatively samey, like hamburgers, hot dogs, ham sandwiches, you know. You go to Greece, and even though you might eat the same food a bunch, like you have so much like flavor in each fucking dish. Comparative. Like, you get so much flavor out of fucking, you know. If I go to a Greek restaurant, don't want to order like it. Now, domades are pretty good. I will say domades are pretty good. The problem is a lot of Greek restaurants aren't being very. The problem is a lot of Greek restaurants. Get over here. Thank you. A lot of Greek restaurants aren't, you know. I love both gyros and domades. Yeah, gyros are nice. Gyros are nice. But I would personally. I mean, okay. So I'll say this: Greek restaurant. Avro lemono is a classic sauce. Is a classic soup. It comes from the Greek words avro, meaning egg, and lemono, which means lemon. A lemoni. So you have, you know, egg lemon soup. It's really good. I love avro lemono soup. If they have it, and it's not guaranteed they're gonna have it, because a lot of Greek restaurants kind of just serve up basic dishes that Americans like, and that's the best way to live here and sell here. Yemista. Yemista is stuffed tomatoes. It's usually stuffed with rice, peppers, etc. Or stuffed peppers. I just prefer the tomatoes. I don't care about the peppers myself. Yemista is my personal favorite dish. You could also get fasolakia, which is like a green bean dish of sauce, potatoes, etc. You could always, and by the way, if it just has Greek potatoes, they're really good Greek oven roasted potatoes, typically speaking. They're not bad at all. I recommend it. There's a lot of good seafood in Greece too. But I would say this: Yemista and fasolakia are two ones that they'll probably have. If they have it, fakes, which is another soup, but it's one that you're not going to find often because it kind of is a poor man's soup. Very simple and easy to make, but delicious and lovely. But not very Americanizable. For salad, do not get the Greek salad. A Greek salad is not Greek salad. Get a choriatiki. Into every year, so I'm sure they have some of these. Oh yeah, I have no doubt they do. I have no doubt they do. I'll see if there's like a Greek festival anywhere near where I live. I know a bit about the Greek church in Atlanta. I think I have some few friends from there for a little while. Sorry, Emma. Something came up last minute. I can't make it tonight. So, I'm gonna show you guys something really fucking quick. So 2013. Good morning, Calvin. Have a great day. Good night, Calvin. Good morning, Calvin. Have a great day. Good morning, Emma. Good night, Calvin. Good night, Emma. Good morning. Have a great day. Every once in a while. Have a great day. Happy birthday, Emma. Thank you. Any fun plans today? Nothing, Kana. Might go to Hoppers today. They give 2 points today. Oh, cool. Good morning. Happy New Year, Emma. What's the plan today? Might see some friends. What about you? Nothing much, Kana. Come home when you have some time. It'll be nice to see you. Not today. Maybe another day. Okay, no problem. Me. Good morning, Emma. Saw this and it reminded me of you. LOL. Oh, we'll watch later. Who are those people, Kana? Your friends? No, Emma. It's just a meme, Emma. Never mind. How are you? It's just a meme, Emma. Good, Kana. How are you? Had lunch? I'm good, Emma. Good night, Calvin. Good night, Emma. Actually, when did he die? February 15th. Oh god, he died on the 15th. So it's Calvin's birthday today. Is this game trying to get me to call my parents? I know, right? There's a big cultural disconnect. There are a lot of American parents who talking once a year is normal. But for people in other cultures, this is a very abnormal thing to do. Just talk once in a blue moon. I don't talk to my parents often. My father once a month, max, maybe less. My mother once every week or two. But like, there's a different cultural understanding when it comes to non-American cultures and American cultures, and there is a level of, I can only imagine an extreme level of loneliness from people who lived in a communal-based society like Europe, Asia, and India in this case scenario, obviously. Compared to America, which is very more individualistic and independent. I can only imagine like that kind of pain that a parent could feel from them. Chris Kendall. Yo, that's hype. That's the exact vibe I was looking for. Great, but just so you know, just so you know, that's not usually hung inside the house. My dad just liked to hang it inside. That's what's always about how students studying abroad here. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's fine. I just need something unique and interesting here. By the way, for the school lunch scene, I was thinking it'd be cool if we had a super diverse table of token kids that were just, and they all shared food from their different cultures. What do you think Priya's lunch should be? Chicken tikka? Spicy vindaloo, maybe? Well, Priya is Tamil, so probably none of those. What if we show her eating nothing? Like, I would bring back my lunch a lot, LOL. I was too embarrassed to eat it at school. Maybe we can touch on that. You're nailing how I picture Chris sound? Fuck yeah, bro. Oh. That might not fit with the tone of the show. It's a fun scene that celebrates different cultures and cuisines that represent Toronto. You must have a favorite dish your mom made. That sounds something, right? It just feels weird for me to write a scene that she isn't even a bit apprehensive about lunch. I was terrified to even open the lid. I get we're celebrating it, but like, it seems like it would make me feel like nothing I was worried about when I wasn't. It's a fucking mood. Fucking mood, Calvin. Basically, what he's doing is he's taking a moment to make an authentic moment. He's taking away the opportunity to make an authentic moment in his show just to be culturally diverse with token students. Yeah, check my mother's recipe book. Let me see what fucking he's wrote here. Hey, Calvin, I want to ask if you had any cool references for set designs as they design Priya's home. They can do their own research, I'm sure, but maybe something cool you have at home, something cultural and potentially obscure. Oh, I don't know, man. Have you seen my apartment? It's all movie posters and games. There has to be something you remember growing up with your parents, right? Yeah, actually, my mom left me a bunch of stuff before she left India. I guess I'll check that out. Yeah. authentic representation and capitalization on diversity. Damn, fucking Skippy. Like, let me talk about this for a second, right? Profiting off culture without deciding to truly understand or recognize it for what it is disgusting in a lot of ways. So, one thing I had a small problem with was everyone. It was a small problem because honestly I didn't care too much, but like everyone fucking misrepresenting Greek culture with popular Greek mythology, right? Literally just like 2 weeks ago, I was talking to a coworker like, oh yeah, you guys believe in the Greek gods, right? And it's like, no. We were one of the first regions to really be into Christianity. Not that that's necessarily a good thing, but we have some of the older Christian things, you know? We have some of the older Christian influences. Not necessarily the first, but older, right? Orthodoxy is pretty old. And fucked up, but that's another story for another time. But like, take a look at Hercules from Disney as a really good example. Zeus is a loving god who just loves everyone and his kids so much. Oops, Hercules accidentally fell down from Olympus, you know? When in reality, Zeus was a fucking incel piece of shit. But you can't sell that. You can't sell the accuracy of Greek mythology and Greek culture to an American audience by being authentic about it. The most authentic piece of Greek literature is My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And I assume for people from the Tamil culture, this is their My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Right? Because they're trying to take this in a very legitimate way of experiencing their culture. So like, when you look at cultural movies and video games, stuff like that, you need to heavily take them with a grain of salt. You have to take them with a heavy grain of salt. Unless the writers and everyone are from the culture and have lived the experience, you're going to get some Americanized or westernized bullshit. Nia Varvatos, who wrote My Big Fat Greek Wedding, is a reliable narrator in first generation Greek. Visay Studios, the people who made this game, are from the Tamil culture. They are reliable narrators. Whoever the fuck wrote Hercules, the Disney version, not reliable. You know? Whoever wrote Simpsons, that one episode of Simpsons where they just did the Zorba dance, not reliable. You know? Jason and the Argonauts, not reliable. Fun story. I actually love that movie. It's a lot of fun, but you know, you get what I'm getting at. Whenever you learn about another person's culture, know who's saying it and what their experience with that culture is. That's why when I'm playing this game, I can't speak from their perspective as Tamil individuals because I'm Greek. I can speak from a similar yet very different perspective that has similarities to it. I have some similarities in my experiences to the individuals like Kavin and Venba. I cannot speak to the game's authenticity, but I can say that to the best of my knowledge, this is a humanely made game from people who had this experience directly firsthand. So I can trust this in being one of the ways that people can describe themselves. And not only that, I can empathize with it because I've faced similar situations. Not the same, similar. But I can tell you about Greek culture. Doing a great job being sensitive to that culture. I'm hoping I fucking am. That's why I did not play this blindly on Twitch. I played it once before. I did not play this blindly on Twitch for this very specific reason. But it's very important to know. It's also very important to know that, once again, white. They're not white. I had a lot of privilege growing up being white. You know? Okay, if I have to give them a recipe, the least I can do is make sure it's authentic. Yup. And American media does not care about authenticity. I love this scene specifically. I can't believe Amma didn't take the recipe book with her when she left to India, though. Whoa, it looks like she fixed a lot of these recipes. I can't read Tamil very well, but let's see. So, I don't know if you remember, when we read this book, it was in English because Venba was reading it. Because Venba could read Tamil. We can't. Kavin can't. Kavin cannot read Tamil. This is another great way of using art to depict a language barrier. Kavin can't read this in the same way I can't fluently read Greek. I can read bits of Greek. I can make words and sound them mouth and all that kind of stuff. I'm not fluent the same way my mother is. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Idlis. This is Puto? Oh, I remember making this with Amma and Appa. That was fun. Oh, biryani, of course, Appa's favorite. Natu Cozy Kulambu. God, I'm gonna mispronounce that. My apologies. That's like chicken soup, I think. She made this for me when I was really ill. So this soup, my version is avolemono. It's the one I mentioned before. Egg, lemon. This is the one thing I could eat without throwing up. I must have been around 5 then. I still remember the taste and the smell. The day she made it, there was a phone call from India. The cooker was whistling. Amma fed it to me, but I think she was upset about something. I wonder what it was. Maybe if I'm going to feature this recipe in the show, I should cook it at least. Oh, how helpful. She drew cute pictures for the ingredients needed. I'll go pick those up first and I can start putting it together. Token diversity in the fucking show, though, is frustrating. So we can't read any of this shit now. So, something plus water. Something. I can't really read this, but thankfully there's a diagram. It looks like I have to mix the tamarind with the water to extract this essence multiple. Oh, the water really changed color. I could add more water directly to the bowl that would dilute the extracted water. Do you find a way to separate the... Yeah, I gotcha. Also, fun little fact, in case you guys didn't recognize it. No music, because Kavin didn't turn on the Tamil music. The water isn't really changing color that much anymore. I think I've got everything I needed from the tamarind. Let's add it to the other bowl and see. This is a silent one, because, like, Kavin didn't turn on the music. That is as much as I'm going to get, I think. As a fun little fact, I do listen to a lot of traditional Greek music when I'm working and stuff. I just put on some bouzouki music, like bum, bum. Bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum every once in a while. Or I'll listen to specifically there's a song called the Vasilikuda, which is a dance for the Zona Laiko. Who's about music? I know, right? The Zona Laiko, there's a song called Vasilikuda that does really well for it, and it has the Greek bagpipes in there. I love it. Hope that means the tamarind water is ready. On to the next thing. Yeah, he's all good. Alright, cool. Oh, there's no diagrams in this one. My Tamil isn't the most fluent, so I might not be able to fully translate this, but maybe I can do it step by step. I think I can make out a few of these words. Toast both the grains first. Nice. Just have to figure out the missing parts and go step by step. Although I don't really see any grains. Did I mistranslate something? Ah, it's seeds, not grains. I can't count the number of times I've woken up to this sound, though. How is it already smelling so good? Oh, I can read this part easily. Next, add red leaves and green chilies. Oh, most of my words were red and green switched around. That happens. When you lose your language, you start mixing up words. A lot. I've done that plenty of times with Greek. I now have my solid set of words, and I have ones that I'm like 90% sure are correct, basically. I don't remember all my colors, though. I know there's coquino for red, rose for pink, bleu for blue, prasino for... Ooh. Is prasino yellow or green? Because I know critino is green or yellow, too. So prasino and critino, I don't remember. Portocali is orange. I do not remember purples. I just do not remember the purples. On to the next step. Add minced something and crushed garlic. Minced shallots and crushed garlic ginger. Smells so good. Sure, this time Amma has me waving away the steam from the smoke detector. What gives out water? Fill something that creates water, then add water itself. Oh, tomatoes. Frying things release a lot of water. So that's what the water tamarind is for. Add something to taste. Add salt. And raspberry powder to taste. This smell is really taking me back. I'm always upset because of the phone call she got from home. I think I remember now. I'm sorry, Appa. I'm sorry I'm not there. I know. I thought she was getting better. It's almost the end of the month, so I should be able to send you more money soon. No, it's okay. Let me at least be of use this way. Carry this part either, but there's not much to it. Just put everything in and cook it, I guess. Learn first. I actually remember a very similar call I had in my life. When my grandmother passed. When we were in America, she was in Greece. I remember a very similar call. Once again, not the same. That's purely coincidence, but very similar. I remember a very similar call when my grandmother first passed. I see my grandmother plenty of times, so I have quite a few lasting memories of her. Specifically the chocolates she had and the candy she had, what she would do for us a lot. Like, there's this one chocolate I would love to get because it reminds me of her, and it was always delicious. I just don't know what it's fucking called. I remember that has the Mona Lisa on it, and that's about it. I should keep going. Whoa, that looks fantastic. Chicken stock always has a golden color, but the turmeric's making it look extra nice. Oh man, should we even feature this on the show? Some corporation is going to start selling an overpriced turmeric chicken stock after watching this. Yep. Okay, last step. We just have to mix these together, I suppose. Raspberries is usually water, but here's the fresh chicken stock instead. It's really cool. Wow, I wonder how Chris will describe this to the team. An exotic take from chicken soup made from a variety of spices and aromatics. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. I hate this description. You know why I hate this description? Do you know why I abhor this description? And when I first read this description, I got really mad. I actually recorded myself reading this description. I got really, really mad reading the description. Because what he's probably saying is right. Chris Kendall is probably going to give a description like this. Now this is an exotic take on chicken soup. Basically what they're doing, when you read this, it's denying the place of this dish in culture by saying, oh, this is something. This is like chicken soup from America, but they made it their way because they took something from America and made it their way, is what it feels like, right? Like, as an example, take benili. It's a Greek pizza, basically, right? But if I say it's a Greek pizza, it sounds a lot like saying, well, they took pizza from America and then they did their thing with it. And that's not quite the case scenario, you know? Or if I say, or if I say gyros, it's like, oh, it's an exotic taco-like dish. You see what I'm kind of getting at? An exotic take on a chicken soup made from a variety of spices and aromatics. Yeah, this is like Campbell's chicken noodle soup with a little bit extra turmeric or something like that. That's basically what it feels like, right? I hated reading this. It felt disgusting viscerally. And I was so validated when Coffin says gross. I was so validated because I was really worried when I first read it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm overreacting to this gut instinct of how disgusting that sounds, of the commercialization of someone's fucking culture just to relate it so much back that you lose the cultural identity of something, which is basically what it is. It's losing the cultural identity. You're saying, oh, it's a chicken soup. You've lost the cultural identity. I don't know the name of the soup because I cannot pronounce it. I cannot put it in my brain, but you've lost the cultural identity to it. You know what I'm saying? And that is gross. It's fucking disgusting. Legitimately. It fucking peeved me that when I first read it. I'm like, an American would describe it like that. A Canadian super dude bro white guy would describe it like that. 100%. 100%. That is, it's the best way to describe it to market for business. A exotic chicken soup with spices. Yeah, brah. I was so validated when Coven agreed with me. I was so validated because I was like, am I getting mad over nothing? No, I'm not. Oh, that looks great, Amma. It's a lot easier than I thought. Let's see if it tastes anything like that day. It will, buddy. It's a core memory for you, baby. Amma, why are you sad? It's nothing. Did I do something wrong? Hmm? Oh no, Kana, not at all. I just heard from home. Your grandmother, Amma loves her a lot. But sometimes people have to leave and go far away. And Amma would just miss her. Why is she leaving? It's natural, Coven. Everyone leaves someday. Us too? It'll happen to everyone. I won't leave you, Amma. Or Appa. Any recipe updates? Shabra. Don't purchase you to the nectar when fed by the hands of one's child. We're in India, baby. Words for parents are mama, papa, appa. Yeah, mine's ma and ba. Oh, they're back together. And he brought the mask back home too. Yeah, I told you I'm terrible at this. It's easy, Coffin. Listen. It's all about temperature control with dosas. First, pour water onto the stone to reduce the heat. Next, set the fire to a low setting. Pour the batter, and since the stone isn't hot, you can spread the batter easily. Add oil to the edges and then turn up the heat. This will fry the batter and make it easy to flip once the edges are brown. Then it's easy, right? Yeah, for you, another dosateur coming up. Man, I just imagine like it's just easy to like say like mas and bas and pas for like kids. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. I did it. Good job. Ready to try something harder? Are you ready to try Othapam? Othapam now? Notice will be a bit thicker this time so we can lay all the vegetables. Ooh, this is like the pizza one, right? With all the toppings. Yes. And here's the funny thing. Even Gavin, having grown up in a culture that devalues other cultural inputs, kind of does the same thing Chris does by accident. You know, oh, yeah, this is an Indian pizza. It's like what his mom goes, you know? Like, yes, I guess. You know? Okay. Not really, though. You know, if we swap out the rice in the batter for almond or coconut flour, we can make this pretty healthy. It won't be as high in carbs and it won't spike your insulin. It won't be a dosa either. See, there's culture, food and culture is very complex. You have to give it the respect that it deserves and recognize it. Recognize it as different. Like in some ways, yeah, food will change. At the same time, if you want to make it culturally like accurate, you know, there's a level of change that cannot be done. Okay, now the toppings. Do I have to add them all? Actually, you just add whatever you like. Everyone's othapam is different. Just make sure to add ghee first. I'm adding everything. Fuck yeah, baby. Let's go. Give me a little bit of everything. I want it all. I think I'm getting the hang of this. I see. I told you it's easy. Imagine if America in school they had culture lessons with food and studying history. Fuck, that'd be cool as hell. Like it's hard enough to get a home economics class in fucking school where you learn the basic shit of how to do things in your home. Imagine if they had like a culture. I know my school actually had a cooking class, where my high school had a whole cooking class where they had like a whole section of one part of school dedicated to people learning how to cook, which was really fucking cool, mind you. They learned a whole bunch of things. Imagine if they learned different cultural deals. Oh, fuck, that'd be great. Oh my god. But not most schools don't have that, unfortunately. I haven't made this in a while. This was your Appa's favorite. Kari dosa. Is dosa with minced meat? Yes, exactly. We're doing it with mutton here, but you can do it with chicken, beef, or whatever you like. It is a Tamil word, and it can mean a lot of things. Colloquially, we use it to refer to meat dishes. Kari also means coal, and since we use it to cook, maybe that's where it came from. Interesting. I wonder if that's where the English word curry comes from. Oh. Good job, Kevin. Now we start adding the curry toppings. Like Othabam, you want to add the ghee first, then add the beaten eggs as a coat, followed by the actual curry and finish it with coriander. God, I kind of want eggs now too. Another one down! This is fun! Yes, it really is. You're doing great, Calvin. You can start your own dosa restaurant when you go back. I know, right? I could probably run the best one. If there were restaurants that can serve dosas like this back there, you wouldn't have missed home so much and left, huh? I came here for more than just dosas, Calvin. Oh, yeah, of course. I was just joking. Oh. Cultural disconnect between parent and child generations. It's such a big thing in immigrant families. It really, really is. Because immigrant children, first generation children like myself, we don't understand the appeal of the other country besides what we've been directly exposed to. Like the food, the dancing, the music, depending on how deep you went into your own culture. I went pretty deep comparative to a lot of other people who haven't had the chance to go too deep into their culture, right? There's a lot of people who come in from another culture. They go, oh yeah, my father's Greek, and their father never really like does anything Greek with them. I know some people who are like, you know, oh yeah, I'm Italian because my mother is Italian. And I'm like, oh, do you speak Italian? They're like, no. Do you cook Italian? No. Do you dance Italian? No. And that's fine. That's valid and completely understandable. But there's a huge difference in cultural disconnect between the parent and the child, depending on how often or how able the person is able to connect with their culture when they move, as well as like understanding what the appeal is of the other country. Like I can understand the appeal of Greece a bit because I've been there, I've eaten there. I don't want to serve the military there, so I don't want to really get my citizenship or nothing there. That's damn good food, I'll tell you that much. Eating food anywhere else besides America is fucking amazing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Food around the world, I'm gonna say it's some of the best food I ever had, you know? Or food I cook. For the food I cook, that's good shit. Everything else sucks. No, but there's a huge cultural disconnect where it's like, Calvin doesn't understand. Anywhere else is so unprocessed, so much better. I'm not even going to say that the processing is the issue in all reality. What I'm going to say is the cooking method. And yeah, there's definitely like easier access if you go to the Agora. Like process is such a very overused word, but like they do spam better in Japan than they do spam here. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion. But American cranberry sauce, that shit's processed like no tomorrow. That's good. That's good. It's more along the lines that people actually cook in other countries, right? When you talk about American cooking, from my experience, on the day-to-day, not when you go to a restaurant, on the day-to-day, you've got your things from a store. You make your ham sandwich. That's basically all I can make. On the daily, you get your ham sandwich, and you have something from whatever, but you don't cook. In other countries, cooking is a daily thing. And get fresh ingredients. Fresh ingredients are very important. Yeah, the Agora in Greece, fresh ingredients. But like in Greece, you can also cook every day. You have the time out of your day to go home and make a dinner, or the economic and cultural stability to go out and order food. In America, you don't necessarily have it. I don't have that here. I cook on Sunday and I have Tupperwares full of leftovers for the rest of the week. And I cook a mean fucking dish on Sunday, so I at least have good food for the entire week, you know what I'm saying? But I can't cook every day. I can't cook every day to make myself a good meal every day. In other countries, it's a little easier to do that. Here, it's not. Just unfortunately, that's the fact. And it's not easy to pay for it. And even then we go out, unless you're going out for specific foods, you're gonna get McDonald's, you know, pizza, yada yada. It's not bad food, but it's just kind of like not cooked the same way. I don't know how to describe it. Fast food in Greece is different from fast food here. I'll tell you that much. Fast food in Japan and Hong Kong and Shanghai, which I've been to each of them, is different. Is different there than it is here. It's just very different. There are different ingredients. There are different processes. Like corn syrup's a fucking popular here, but over there it's sugar. It's like actual fucking sugar, as an example. But yeah. It's a corn syrup. Yep. You're on the same wavelength. If you're on the same wavelength, the corn syrup here is fucking ugh. But you know what they say? Food is food, unfortunately. That's a very American thing. Just food is food. Well, you can start eating these. I'll make the rest and join you. Oh, no, I'll do it. Otherwise, they'll get cold before you can eat them. Well, won't they get cold for you then? Let me do it this one time at least. Sure, Calvin. Ah, it looks fucking delish, baby. Looks fucking delish. I have something to show you. This is Amma's recipe book. Have you been using it? Wait, I didn't fix some of these. You fixed these too? And you wrote in Tamil? This is great, Calvin. Is this all research for that show you're writing? No, Amma. It's actually, I quit that job. Oh, why? So, after I played this game for my first time, I kind of had like a coming to Jesus moment a little bit, because this is something that my Big Fat Greek Wedding doesn't touch upon when it comes to immigrant families. But when a child from an immigrant family does grow up really big in the culture and understanding thereof of the culture, or at least in my experience, there's a level of pride to it, right? This level of pride in being Greek, where I know my history, I know my understanding, I know my mythology, I know some really ingenious things the Greeks did. I danced dances that were alive in the days of the Odyssey, when the Odyssey was written. The days of Homer, I danced the same dances Homer would have danced. You know what I'm saying? There's a level of pride in being Greek and a level of self-evaluation and self-validation in being Greek or being from whatever culture you are. As you grow up and begin to acclimate yourself to the Western country that you're in, like Canada or United States or wherever you've immigrated to, you lose some of that. You still are, or I am still Greek, but now when I try to show Greekness, there's a level of understanding that I've lost those connections, where in reality, I have felt like a fraud myself. Am I really Greek? I don't speak as well as I used to. Am I really Greek? I don't have time to cook as much as I want to. Am I really Greek? I haven't danced in years until I go to a festival, then I dance again. Am I really Greek? I'm not fucking religious. Fuck that Jesus bullshit. Fuck core Orthodox Christianity. I hate that. Am I Greek? I have not interacted or understood this culture in sincerity in a long time. I have not visited Greece. I have not been an extensive part of that culture. So Kavin, Who, by the way, I guess he's wearing his father's glasses, but he should be wearing glasses that fit his own prescription. Kavin, please get better glasses for yourself, my dude. You need glasses for your prescription, please. I know it's sentimental, but please get your own glasses. Kavin may potentially be going through something similar. He distanced himself from his own culture. He had to go out of his way to learn Tamil again. And start writing and cooking the foods and literature of his own culture again. So when someone goes, hey, you're Indian, and you're Tamil Indian specifically, or hey, you're Greek, what's XYZ? Explain this culture to us. And you go, fuck. One, I can't explain it in the way you would want me to explain it to you in. Two, even if I could, I don't feel that I am an authority on this because I am not Greek. I'm Greek American. I am Tamil Canadian. I am Italian American, Italian Canadian, Irish American, Irish Canadian, yada yada yada, etc., right? You do end up feeling like a fraud because a large part of your identity, no matter who you are as an immigrant child, as a first generation child, a large part of your identity is tied to that root your parents have, so long as they were tied to that root themselves. Second generation children do not have this same issue. It's different issues for second generation children. But first generation children are so heavily raised by their cultural roots and so heavily influenced by them, they are normalized. A lot of stuff is normalized while the surrounding environment does not accentuate or benefit those normalizations or those thought forms in general. So when you talk to people about your culture and when you try to share it, not only are you walking on eggshells in a lot of different ways, and not only are you unsure if anyone will ever truly get it, because unless they're an immigrant too, they're not going to understand insincerity. Like I tried talking to some coworkers about my Greek culture, and most of them did not understand, except for the immigrants, the people who came from other places or had family that came from other places. Not American enough, not Greek enough. That's a good way of looking at it. Not American enough, not Greek enough. It's kind of like the way I felt. Specifically the not Greek enough part. I think I could be American enough for I want to guns. Yeah. Anyways, I can understand the not Greek enough part, you know? So I feel as many ways that Kavin could here, I felt like a fraud writing and representing my culture is what he's saying. And like, I sometimes feel that same way myself. I literally in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a stream to teach you guys how to dance Greek, because we had a, we passed that milestone in the charity stream. But in some ways I still do feel like a fraud, because it's kind of how I feel, if I'm being honest. Am I the right person to teach you how to dance Greek? I don't know. I'm gonna fucking do it. But like, I don't know. No. I took the job because it was the first place that would hire me. I suppose the showrunners felt I could offer a Tamil perspective. But I've distanced myself from all of that my entire life. I couldn't even speak the language fluently. What perspective can I even offer? I've acted like being Tamil was inconvenient for me my whole life, but now that I'm acting Tamil when it's convenient for me, when's there a job? When there's a job on the line? I couldn't deal with it. I chose this one before. I really do want to choose the second one, though. It's true, Emma. I'm just a tourist. And I wasn't there for you after Appa. And every time I wanted to apologize, I just felt too guilty to even face you. You always said you stayed in Canada for me. I know how much it must have hurt to come back here. How much it must have hurt you. And Appa. It was so sudden. I always thought there would be time to tell him how much he inspires me. Even the stories he made up when I was a child and read them to me until I finally slept. My writing can't hold a candle to that. If I'm writing today, it's because of him. I'm still just trying to catch up to him. That's not why I came here, Calvin. You didn't? I came here because that's what's best for me, even though it hurt me. It's what's best for you. What do you mean? I love living here. The people, my parents, my job, everything. Leaving India was necessary, but really hard. I felt bad for leaving, and I missed it so much that I wanted to raise you like you never left here. It must have been suffocating for you. Also a very important thing. This is, I think, an immigrant parent's issue sometimes, where they have a lot of trouble acclimating, and they try to force upon a culture to a child without ever understanding the child's perspective of being in another culture. It's an impossible balancing act of saying, let me teach you about your roots, and you don't live here. You live somewhere else, and to a degree, you should acclimate for your own safety and well-being and the social life around you. And right here, Venba's recognizing it, and so is Calvin. Because Venba's like, this is the life I can live, because this is the life I was raised in, that I'm socialized for. You were not raised for this life here in India. We tried to give you what we could from here, but Canada and India are two different places, and you deserve to live happily in Canada the same way I deserve to live happily in India. And this comes back to being a very communal culture as well. To have your child or your parent be so culturally distinct and separated from you to the point that you have to live across the world to be happy is going to affect people in very different, serious ways that I don't think a lot of therapists are ready to deal with. But it's true. And after Pavlon, well, coming back here and teaching all these kids has been great. If I had stayed there, I don't think I could have given you the space you needed. Thanks, Amma. How long are you staying for? I don't know, Amma. But this is nice. What about you? Do you think you'll ever come back to Canada? I don't know, Kana. This is really nice. Ah, they're the tears, baby. They're the tears, baby. The The emotional intelligence. Thank you for the follow, Cubs. The emotional intelligence of this game is off the charts, and I'm going to say this specifically because the writers have experienced this firsthand. Great vibes, man. Enjoyed the stream. Thanks for being more than my pleasure. I talk about this kind of shit a lot every once in a while. If you're interested in the potion drop something. If you're interested in the potion permit stuff, it's all on YouTube. You could go watch my potion permit playthrough on YouTube if you're interested in that as well. I get off on a lot of tangents, but but yeah, no. So because the people who wrote this have experienced this, the emotional intelligence in the background is there. Like, they were talking about it, like, Calvin was going, wait, what if they just don't bring lunch? You know? That's not something an American would ever think about. Not bringing lunch. They could just bring a ham sandwich. Ham and cheese sandwich, peanut butter and jelly. You know, it's very normal for Americans. Just have that kind of thing. Once again, not a wrong thing to have just a ham and cheese sandwich. But like, you know, there's a lot of nuance to culture and to food and to maintaining your culture as an immigrant. So there's no right or wrong answer. Never has been and never will be. There is no right way of doing it. There, in my opinion, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to passing down culture to your children, it's going to be always an uphill battle. You have to recognize that wherever they're living, that'll be their predominant culture. But sharing and enjoying culture together is what makes it different. Like, as an example, forcing a kid to go to church is not going to be good culturally speaking. Like, oh yeah, whatever, you know, like forcing a kid to go somewhere they don't want, no. But if you say, hey, this church is having a great organization, we're gonna have food there, we're gonna be there, you know, there's gonna be a festival there, you see them dancing, do you want to do those dance lessons? You know, yeah, I want to do those dance lessons. All right, let's sign you up, get you those dance lessons going so you can become one of the dance members. You know, that's what happened to me. I danced Greek dance for over a decade, you know what I'm saying? Still do. I still have it in me, even though I'm almost 30 now. Fuck, I got 1 month till I'm 30. Fuck. But yeah, I think there's I think it's very hard to raise a child in one culture while they live in another. And that's fine. Just raise your child the best you can and recognize that they're going to be different from you. And your child will choose how involved into their own culture they get. Me, I don't need to write or read Greek. I just want to... Queen Shelly! Hey! Queen Shelly! As long as your kid's happy, that's what matters. Let me give a quick shout out to Queen Shelly. Hold on. A fantastic bean. Queen Shelly, how are you? Guys, go give Shelly some love if you haven't already. Queen Shelly is absolutely lovely. Absolute good bean. How are you doing? How was your stream? What were you streaming? We're actually about to end stream. I'm just kind of giving my last notes on culture and what have you. Queen Shelly, welcome on in. How you doing, homie? Okay, nice to see you. It's nice to see you too. But yeah, as long as your child's happy, that's the most important thing. But also making sure that, you know, if you want to share your culture, you share. You don't force it. My raid will join yours and become a family. Damn Skippy. All right. So this VOD will be on YouTube on Sunday. So for everyone on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the VOD. Hope you enjoyed my ramblings. I want to say once again, my experiences with these microaggressions and stuff like that is very different from someone who's going to be in a Venba situation. I am Greek American and I'm white. They are Tamil Canadian and they're people of color. Very different situations. But once again, like, I don't go by my name because Americans can't say my name. I go by Steph because they can't say Stefanos. And they go Stefan, Steven, etc. And people in my workplace today still do that. And they still spell my name wrong, even though it's relatively easily, you know? But like, so I've experienced some of what's in here. I just experienced it in a very different way and not equivalent to what is experienced in this game. But this game is a fantastic game. It's only 12 bucks, by the way, guys. Give it some love if you can. The writers are all fantastic. So YouTube, y'all stay safe, stay Botanist Cool, and I'll see you soon, YouTube. Bye.